Does the thought of instructing a builder fill you with dread? Or maybe you've used one before and you found the whole experience frustrating, expensive, or maybe really stressful. Today I'm going to change all that by showing you how a schedule of works can make all the difference. Hi, I'm Andy Gore and I've been investing in real estate for the past 8 years. I've been involved in numerous house refurbishments, from simple internal refreshes to full-on structural works, extensions and full house refurbs. A critical part of the success of those refurbs has been creating a clear set of tasks for the builder, otherwise known as a schedule of works. The SOW helps in 3 ways. Firstly is it helps the builder to create an accurate quote before you instruct them, and it also helps you to go and compare quotes between different contractors. Secondly is it sets out in detail what work is required for your project. Thirdly, it explains who's responsible for what, so there can't be any queries or questions later on about who's responsible for completing a task or sourcing certain materials. Creating an SOW is really easy and it can save a lot of time, money and stress, which is why in this video I'm going to show you how to create one really easily using Notion. Plus later on I'm going to share with you a link so that you can download this template for free so you can get started straight away. Comment below if you've used a schedule of works before and let's get going. So the first thing we need to do is to go and prepare our schedule of works generator. So you can see here this Notion template, and the first thing we need to do is go and duplicate the template. So if you just head up to here on the right hand side, there's a duplicate button. So all you need to do is click on that one and it will go and copy the template into your workspace. Also, of course, you may be using this on multiple projects. So just go and duplicate this as many times as you need and you can then go and apply it to different projects. You'll notice here on the homepage, we've actually got some instructions. So if I just click on this button here, this will take you step by step about how to prepare the template. So the first step is just to duplicate it, which we've just covered. The next stage is to go and delete the dummy data. So this is really straightforward. All you do is just click and drag across here. That will go and select the dummy data that I've put in. So things like clear the garden, build extension, etc. So you just select all these lines and then just click on the delete button and that will tidy up and remove these from your template. Then we want to go and list the actual set of rooms that will be involved in your refurb. So perhaps you're just doing maybe a bedroom and a bathroom, so you may just include those, or perhaps it's a whole house. So I have included again some dummy data in here. So all you need to do is click on one of these fields, so in location, and then let's type just an example. So maybe we're going to do the study. So just type in the location and click create. And that will then go and add it to one of these locations. If you don't want to use one of the ones I've already provided, just click into it, and then on the right hand side in the list you can see these 3 dots. So maybe we're not bothered by the garden, so just click on the 3 dots and then just go and click delete. It'll ask you to confirm and then click remove. So you can just include the locations that you want to use in your template. Then we've got our list of contractors. So again, depending on the scale of your refurb project, some of these contractors that I've already listed may not be relevant. So I've included the sort of typical ones, so plumbers, joiners, electricians, painters, etc. Delete these if you don't think they're going to be suitable for your project, or maybe you want to go and include some new ones. So we may have in here, for example, a roofer. We know that we need to go and have some work done on the roof. So similar to last time, just go and add all the contractors that are relevant for your project and delete the ones that are not. Don't worry about here on the left hand side, you can ignore those tasks. And that's how you go and prepare the template for your project. After you've set up your template, the next thing to do is just to go and do a bit of a brain dump of all of the tasks that you think will be involved in your project. So let me just give you a couple of examples. So maybe we want to go and install the kitchen, and that'll obviously be in the kitchen. Maybe you also want to go and tile the bathroom floor, and then add a location for that. And lastly, let's add one more. So this may be install curtains and pictures, and that could be in the lounge. So what this is doing is just creating a list of items. It's a sort of a brain dump of things that you think need to be done, and each of these is going to be called backlog. So that's going to be the status of each of these items. Just go and get them out of your head. Maybe walk around. If it's a current property that you own, you can walk around each of the rooms and think install light fittings, install carpet, replace windows, etc, etc, and just write down an initial list of all the things that need to be done. So back on the home page we can see that we've got our task backlog section. If you imagine the backlog is ideas, it's not confirmed, you've not decided that you actually do want to go and include this in your schedule of works. Now, for some of these items, you may have some uncertainties or things that you're not sure about. So if we look here in the task backlog, you can see we've got our status. So let's imagine that we've got tile the bathroom floor. Now you may be debating, are you going to tile it? Are you going to go and put down some lino, for example? So we could change this from backlog to query. So let's just say that there's something unsure about it. We don't know, maybe it depends on cost, maybe it depends on the type of materials. So you could just go and put that as a query. Plastering the walls. Now plastering is expensive, so maybe you want to go and speak to a builder and actually just go and decide whether it's worth plastering or whether you can just go and skim over it. So let's call that a query as well. So you've got stuff out of your head into your backlog, then you've identified things around which there's some uncertainty, so that's your query. And again on the home page here, you can see that we've got a query section. And that's really useful because then you can start to work through the queries and get answers from your contractor. So for example, in here we could just write down tile the bathroom. What is the cost of tiles versus lino, for example? And then here the question could be, do we need to plaster all walls? So you can very quickly just add some notes, and then when you go and speak to your builder, perhaps they'll come around and have a chat with you first. You could go and email them these questions. You can just go and quickly whiz through, and then for each of these decide what action you need to take. So tile the bathroom floor, you may sort of say, okay, we've gone and decided that we're going to go and tile it, so that's now moved to confirmed, and that confirmed means it will appear on your SOW. Plaster the walls, you may say we don't need to plaster them, you can just go and skim them, so we can just go and check that and change that to rejected, and that's then removed from your list of items and tasks, and you no longer need to consider it. So this is a really powerful way just to go and brainstorm, think of things that have uncertainty, and then make a decision. Do I need to reject them, put them on my schedule of works, or keep them as a query if you've still not got enough information? If you're finding this video useful, please do give it a thumbs up. Thanks. So we've gone and brainstormed all of the things that we want to happen in the house. We've gone and got answers to queries we may have. So now we need to decide what we want to go into our schedule of works. So you can see here on our homepage, again, we've got the task backlog. So if we just go through each item, all we need to decide is whether we still want to include this. So we've got build extension. So that's by the builder. The builder will source the materials. So we can just go and say, yep, we want that included. Let's put it to confirmed. Remove the old wardrobes. So yes, that needs to happen. So let's change that because that needs to be bedroom, for example. Let's say that to save some money, that as the client we'll be doing that, and there are no materials to source, so we can leave that as NA. So that still needs to happen. So let's go confirmed. Install new fire doors. So maybe we don't need those fire doors anymore. So we can just go and say that's rejected. So let's remove that. Install the curtains and pictures. So let's say we're not going to bother with that anymore. Again, let's go and reject that. And then installing the kitchen, yes. So the builder will be doing that. So maybe it's going to be done by the joiner. So let's go and put the joiner in. The materials, so perhaps you're going to go and source the kitchen, buy it, have it delivered, and then the joiner will install it. So let's say that the materials are going to be sourced by you, the client. But yes, we do want to install the kitchen. So let's put that again to confirmed. So as you can see in this template, it's really easy to go and build your schedule of works. And just by filtering on the homepage through the task backlog, you can make decisions on each of these items. So once you've got your schedule of works completed, you can then start to send it out to your builders, contractors, etc. Again, on the homepage, if I just go to confirm tasks here, we can see that these are all of the confirmed tasks. So the electrics, plumbing, garden, etc. I've also got some filters, so you can view them per room. So maybe we want to see, so the kitchen's going to be plumbing and install the kitchen. The bathroom is tiling the floor, building the extension, etc. So this is just broken down per room. You can also break them down per contractor. So we can see what are you as the client doing. So you're clearing the garden, removing the old wardrobes. What are the other contractors doing, which is really useful. Lastly, we've got all contractors, and this is where it's basically everybody apart from yourself as the client. So the contractors could be electricians, plumbers, general builder. So it lists everybody except yourself. Now we can actually see here that we've got tile the bathroom floor is missing a contractor. So let's just put in here Tyler, and let's say that you're going to source the tiles. So again, we'll keep this as client. So it's a really easy way that you can go and pull together a list for your builder. And then once this is here, you can go and print it out. You could send it to them in an email, and then they could go and cost based on all of the lists of tasks that you've given them. And that's where your more accurate quote comes from, reducing the stress, overruns with expenditure, etc. So this is really, really powerful. One quick note is sometimes you may go and add tasks really quickly and you don't end up adding a contractor or who's sourcing the materials, etc. So here I've got a little section called task maintenance. So if I just jump into here, you can see that we've got some tasks haven't got all the information filled out. So quickly jump into here to go and add all the missing information. So clear garden, the location is the garden, which I deleted earlier. So I can quickly go and add that in. So add garden, and then it disappears because all the information is there. Install the curtains and pictures. So let's say that this is going to be done by ourselves. So we're trying to save a couple of pennies. So let's put the client is going to install it. And again, that's all gone. So that's just a really easy way just to go and tidy up your list of tasks. Finally, there's all the work to be done by the contractors, so your builder, plumber, electrician, etc. But some tasks may still be with you, the client. So here we've got the to-do section, and here you can see all of the different task statuses. So if there are any queries that you need to go and tidy up, again, you can see them here, and then whiz through them and then move them to the relevant section. So for example, remove carpet. Let's say that the query is all sorted and that's now confirmed. So we can just drag it to the confirmed line. Underneath, sourcing materials. So if you're going to be sourcing things like the tiles, the kitchen, etc., here you can quickly see what materials you need to source, and there's a nice little to-do list here, and also there's a list and a table. And again, it's just another way of viewing the same thing. You can see anything that's still got a query associated with it as well. So that's just the to-do page for yourself as the client and everything that you need to get sorted. As promised earlier, this is a free Notion template that I'm more than happy to share with you. So if you would like to download it and start using it, check out this link here. I'll also put that into the description below. If you found this video useful, do check out my channel here for more videos to help you in your real estate business.